Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. You're listening to episode number 224. I'm Victoria Gallagher, law of attraction hypnotist and #1 bestselling author of Practical Law of Attraction. Align yourself with the manifesting conditions and successfully attract your desires. I'm also the founder of HipTalk.com and HypnoCloud apps, which gives you access to over 500 hypnosis recordings right in the palm of your hand. And so be sure to download that app from the app stores. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Dr. Noah St. John. Noah is known as the father of affirmations. Now, I didn't say affirmations, I specifically said affirmations, and the mental health coach to the stars. Working with Hollywood celebrities, 8-figure company CEOs, professional athletes, top executives, and entrepreneurs, Noah is famous for helping his coaching clients make more in just 12 weeks than they made in the previous 12 months. Noah has also appeared on over 1,000 media outlets, including ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, Entrepreneur, and Success Magazine. And you can get Noah's new book, Millionaire Affirmations, the magic formula that will make you rich, at getmillionairebook.com. And for those of you who are not watching this, go over to YouTube so you can see him holding up his book. And you can also find him on his website, noahstjohn.com. He has his blogs there, his list of books, all of that. And so today, Noah is going to be sharing some of his insights on the new science of positive self-talk. So welcome to the show, Noah.
Well, thank you, Victoria. Great to be here with you.
Yes, it's great to have you. I've actually heard about these affirmations for many years. And so I was really happy to have you be a guest on our show. Kind of celebrity status in the personal development world, I'd say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us just a little bit of your backstory. Like, how did you, stumble upon these affirmations? How did you come up with the name? Like, what happened? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. My story is the fact that I grew up poor in a rich neighborhood. And I know that's a total cliche, but it's totally true. I grew up in this little town called Kennebunkport, Maine, which happens to be one of the wealthiest communities in New England. But my family was dirt poor. And I mean that literally, because we lived at the bottom of a dirt road in a drafty, unfinished house that my parents actually ended up losing to foreclosure when I was 15 years old. So from a very young age, I was painfully exposed to the gap, the chasm between the haves and the have-nots. The haves was everyone else in the community. The have-nots was my family. Now, you hear these speakers, they get on stage all the time and they say, well, we were poor, but we were happy. We didn't know we were poor. Well, in my family, we freaking knew we were poor because my mother, bless her heart, reminded us every day that we were poor and miserable. So no, it wasn't happy. It sucked. And so from a very young age, I hated that life of poverty and fear and lack and not enoughness. That's what I grew up with. But I saw that right down the street, there's great wealth and abundance. So I literally said, how the heck do I get from here to there? So you mentioned that I'm known as the father of affirmations and the mental health coach to the stars. I'm also known as the nerdiest nerd in the personal growth industry. I'm kind of like the Sheldon Cooper of self-help. And what I mean by that is that, when there's a problem, when there's an issue that needs to be solved, I just get in my laboratory, put on my blinders, and I just focus until I fix the problem. So, even at a young age, I was doing that. Now, of course, I didn't really have a laboratory. The laboratory was the library. I just went to the library and started reading all the books that I could on personal growth and self-help, all the classics, Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, Stephen Covey, and I really, really immersed myself in these books and in these teachings, and I really tried to apply them and make them work. The problem was I couldn't get them to work. And so as hard as I tried, as hard as I worked, I just couldn't get them to work. So at the age of 25, I decided to commit suicide because I was so depressed. I was so frustrated, and I just didn't see a way out. Now, at the very last moment, my life was spared. I share that story in my books and in my programs. But my point is that I realized that my life had been spared for some reason, but I didn't know why. And I realized I really didn't know my purpose on the earth. I said, I don't know why I'm here. So I went on another journey. The first journey was more like an outer journey, and the second was more like an inner journey. So I went back to the library and I started reading all the books I could on spiritual growth. People like Ernest Holmes, Marianne Williamson, Louise Hay, Deepak Chopra, Neil Donald Walsh, all the spiritual thinkers of our time. And then, long story short, 5 years later, fast forward, that's when I had two epiphanies actually that led me to create my company, successclinic.com, which is 25 years ago now. So we've been in business a quarter century now. And I started in a 300 square foot basement apartment with $800 in a book on HTML. So I literally had no money, no marketing, no sales experience. I didn't know anything about building a business, but I just really had a dream. And it was a dream to help people, to make a difference, to really make an impact, and to teach people what I had discovered. And so really that's how it all started. It really came about because of my frustration with, the personal growth teachings that are out there and how they really didn't work for me. And what I found over the intervening 25 years now that I've been helping people is that a lot of people feel like I do. They've been to all the seminars, they've read all the books, and yet they're still frustrated. They're still stuck. They're still not reaching the level of success that they really want to. And that's one of the reasons that, we've been able to help our coaching clients over the last 25 years to literally add 6, 7, and even 8 figures to their business, all while working less and being able to spend more time with their families. So it's been quite a journey.
Amazing. I'm so glad. So it's so fortunate that your life was spared. And I definitely want to dive in and find more about, what exactly happened there. Because that's the thing. So many people, you had one advantage, but that advantage kind of can work against you. And the one thing is that you did live in a neighborhood where you had the awareness that there was something better out there.
That's right.
But, you didn't have the how to, and none of us are built with the operations manual that it takes, to learn. We learn math, science, social studies, all of these things, but nobody actually teaches us how to run a successful life. And that can be maddening, especially for somebody who knows there is something better out there for me. Sometimes it's better off. You're better off not knowing because you'll drive yourself crazy in the process of trying to get there. And it sounds like, you kind of, you had an experience of driving yourself.
Yep. I definitely experienced that.
Place.
Absolutely.
So,
Definitely.
wow. Thank you for sharing your story. So tell us a little bit now about what are these things called, because most of the people are familiar with affirmations, and I have my own ideas about affirmations as, somebody who's been teaching this for quite a while myself. And I know that, just sitting around looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, when you got no money in the bank, or, definitely is not matching up with what's actually going on in your brain, that can actually, I think that can work against you. And so tell us a little bit about your thoughts on that and what these affirmations are, and how are they different from these traditional affirmations?
Right. Well, so everybody watching and listening to this program, so, I'm sure everybody watching and listening has heard of affirmations, right? If you've ever read a self-help book, they all say the exact same thing.
I'm good enough.
Right. Use these positive statements. And, so as a keynote speaker, along with being a business coach, executive coach, I'm also a keynote speaker. So I get to speak, literally around the world. Conferences, even, small private workshops of 100 people up to, huge international conferences with literally thousands of people. And so, when I'm speaking and doing my keynote presentations, one of the things I like to do with my audiences is I like to say, all right, everybody, now we're going to stand up and everybody say a traditional affirmation, just like we have been taught, literally taught for decades, right? So I say, all right, everybody say, I am rich. Everybody goes, I am rich. And you know what happens next? Everybody starts laughing, just like you just did, right? That's exactly what happens, right? Everybody starts laughing. And I go, what are you laughing at? And they go, well, I'm not rich. I say, but you just said you were. And they go, yeah, but I don't believe it. See, now, isn't that the problem? That is literally the problem with the old affirmations method, right? We say these positive things and we want to believe them, but a lot of times we just don't believe it. Right. So what the guru said is, well, just repeat your affirmations 1,000 million billion kajillion times, and then you'll believe it someday. Right. And for some people that worked just fine, but for millions of us, it didn't work at all. In fact, as you just said, and actually scientific studies have shown that 75% of the people that use these affirmations actually end up feeling worse than before. So it's like, imagine if you had a phone that didn't work 75% of the time, right? Wouldn't you want to trade that in for something that worked all the time?
Exactly.
So that's why a lot of people are trading in their old affirmations for my affirmations method. All right. So point is, so go back 25 years now, in April 1997, this was, I was doing all these things, exactly what we've been taught, right? Because listen, if you only have one way of doing things or one way of looking at the universe, then what other choice do you have? So we've all been taught the same thing. Use these affirmations, positive statements. I'm happy, I'm rich. Right. So I was doing everything they said, right? I was writing them down. I posted notes everywhere. I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm successful. No, I'm not. I'm broke, unhappy, and miserable. Right. So it's like, what the heck is going on here? So I was in the shower one day, and in my books and my programs, I call it the shower that changed everything. Right. So isn't it true? We often have those aha moments, those epiphanies in the shower, right?
Yes.
So anyway, this was the shower that changed everything. Anyway, so it was April 1997, and I was thinking about this very topic. And I'm like, why have I been doing these stupid affirmations, exactly what they said, and nothing's working? It doesn't get me the result that I want. And so I started thinking about human thought and human beliefs. I said, if we want new results, we've got to change our beliefs. But what is a belief? And I realized belief is a thought. What is thought? And the more that I thought about that, I said, human thought is the process of asking and searching for answers to questions. Not statements, but questions. In fact, I can prove this to you. I can prove it to everybody watching and listening to the program. I'm going to ask you a question right now. I want you to see what happens. Why is the sky blue? Why is the sky blue? Now, do you know what just happened in your brain?
You searched for
exactly. You started to search for the answer, even if you don't know the answer. Your mind automatically searches for the answer. It's like doing a computer search. You ever look for a file on your computer or even a Google search, right? You're searching for something. That's what our brain is like a computer. It's like a Google search, right? And so your brain is literally going, the sky is blue because, I don't know, but it's looking,
even
right?
if you don't know, it's going
right.
to
It's automatically doing it. So I said, wait a second. If the human mind is automatically searching for answers to questions, why are we going around making statements we don't believe? Why don't we just cut out the middleman? And I said, I don't know. What would that look like? This was a really long shower, by the way. Anyway, so I said, well, wait a minute. We've got the statement or affirmation, I am rich, to which your brain says, yeah, right. I mean, I literally call it in my books and my programs, I call it the yeah, right response, because your brain literally goes, yeah, right. Right. So I said, if that's the statement, then what would the question be? And then I said, why am I so rich? Why am I so rich? Now, when you ask that question, what immediately starts to happen in your brain? You start to
trying to find reasons.
Right, exactly. So what we're talking about, what I teach in my coaching and my programs, my books, is that law of sowing and reaping. As you sow, so shall you reap. Now, this is nothing new. It's been taught for centuries. And yet, what are we sowing? We're sowing seeds of thought. And yet, what are most people doing? Sowing lousy thought seeds. Why am I so stupid? Why am I so fat? Why can't I lose weight? Why isn't my business growing? Why can't I get more clients or patients or customers? Why is there more month left at the end of the money? When you ask lousy questions, what do you get?
Lousy answers.
Lousy answers, right? And that creates a lousy life. So I literally said, what if instead of asking lousy questions that lead to lousy answers, create a lousy life? What if we just flip the whole thing on its head, start asking empowering questions that lead to phenomenal answers and create a wonderful life? And as I was standing there in the shower, April 1997, I said, holy cow, I think I just invented something. And so I had to give it a name, and the name that I gave it was Affirmations, Affformations, Affirmations. And again, this is the new book called Millionaire Affirmations, the magic formula that will make you rich. And we'll give you the website for that of how you can get this, as well as we do also have the Millionaire Affirmations companion journal so that you can literally make this a daily habit. So you want to get the book along with the journal at getmillionairebook.com. That's the website, getmillionairebook.com. And by the way, because you're watching this program or listening, we also have $300 of bonus gifts. When you get the book at getmillionairebook.com, you can also get $300 worth of bonus gifts right there at the website. You just have to put in your information right there at getmillionairebook.com. So really, that's how it all started over 25 years ago now. That's how I discovered Affirmations. And now, this actually my 16th and 17th books. I published all these books behind me. For those of you watching, you can see all these books that I published on how to use affirmations and, also my power habit system to change your life. And what's awesome about it is you can literally change your financial future in less than 5 minutes a day when you follow and use my affirmations method.
This is so amazing. First of all, I mean, like, I'm so thankful for that shower you had.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
right?
sure you are. I mean, and
Indeed.
yes, some of the best ideas do come from the showers.
That's right.
And they say, and it was right in front of our nose the whole time. If you
Yes.
want better answers, ask better questions.
That's right.
And so you really smashed these two ideas together in such a brilliant, such a beautiful
you.
way. It's such an amazing concept.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and 16 books. I love it. I love it.
Well, 17 now, and then the 18 is
17
coming out next year. So I'll have to come back on the show when the new book comes out. But
That's amazing.
anyway, so yes, it's been awesome.
So you were getting ready to talk about, you said that you can change someone's financial life in less than 5 minutes a day. So how can you give us a little bit, little bit of insight on how you do that?
Absolutely. And it sounds like a big promise, right? Oh, come on, 5 minutes. I'm like, yes, seriously. And then one of the reasons that I did it this way on purpose was because the number one excuse that I get from people is, hey, Noah, I want to change my life, but I don't have the time, right? Everybody's so busy. And so, it would be one thing if I were to say, okay, you got to sit there and stare at your navel for an hour and a half every day, and that's how you change. I'd be like, really? So everybody's kind of busy, very busy. And it's like, no. But if you don't have 5 minutes, let me just say, then I guess you don't want it that bad, So seriously, 5 minutes a day. And I prove it to you. And of course, I prove it to you in the book. So right in the book, Millionaire Affirmations, I literally walk you through this process. And so it's called my Core 4 formula, my Core 4 formula. All right. So here's how it works. Now, we humans have 4 modes of human communication. There are 4 ways that we humans communicate: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. That's how we communicate, right? We read something, we write something, we say something, or we can listen to something. Okay. So the point is, my Core 4 formula is how to use my affirmations method to change your life, change your financial future in less than 5 minutes a day. So here's what you do. The first minute of my Core 4 formula, you're going to read your new affirmations. All right. So you can read it from my book of affirmations, my Millionaire Affirmations book. All of that is at getmillionairebook.com, or of course, my main website, which is noahstjohn.com. You can look at all my different books, but you're going to read. Now, in the Millionaire Affirmations book, by the way, I give you hundreds of affirmations that you can read every single day. So you can literally just open up a page at random and you would say, why am I so happy with who I am? Boom, there you go. That's your affirmation, and you can read for literally just 1 minute. In fact, I give you affirmations on wealth, focus, self-confidence, goal setting, goal achievement, purpose, work-life balance, and millionaire habits. So there's just awesome information right there. So that's the first minute. The second minute is you're going to write your affirmations. All right. So that's why we encourage you to get the companion journal. All right. So this is a whole year where you're going to be writing your affirmations, and it will literally start to reprogram your brain. That's the second minute. The third minute is you're going to say them out loud. So it's reading, writing, speaking, you say them out loud. Now people say, really, do I have to say it out loud? Hey, only if you want to change your financial life. If you don't want to stay the same, then don't do it.
Exactly.
But so hello. The point is you say it out loud because when you're speaking words, it's very powerful, right? So most people are speaking really lousy words. Like I was talking about earlier, why am I so fat? Why can't I do anything right? Why don't I have any money? Why am I so broke? You're saying that anyway. Why don't you just flip it around and say something empowering? And by the way, we have a lot of couples that do it together, so your partner, your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend. Also, kids love affirmations. Kids absolutely love affirmations because kids are very smart and they don't have decades and decades of head trash like us, adults do. So kids love it. We have so many awesome stories of kids, literally 6, 7, 8 years old teenagers who got better grades, better self-confidence, improved their self-image, all using my affirmations method. So anyway, you want to say those out loud. That's the third minute. And then the fourth minute is you're going to listen to your affirmations. Now, we have lots of tools to help you do that. If you go to noahstjohn.com, you can actually download a free I Affirm audio, I Affirm, like iTunes. So it's on a free 60-second stress buster at noahstjohn.com. And you can literally reprogram your subconscious thought patterns in just 60 seconds. Now, we have longer I Affirm audios, which are done for you, affirmations. So you can get, in fact, like for ultimate health, ultimate wealth, ultimate love, relationships, whatever you want. But you can start with just the free 60-second stress buster. So you can bust your stress in 60 seconds or less. And there it is. That is it. That's your core 4 formula. Less than 5 minutes a day. You can literally change your financial life while you're waiting for your morning coffee to be brewed.
I love this strategy so much because I absolutely believe that those 4 modalities, reading, listening, writing, and speaking out loud, all of those are just, they're so important and they're so, so crucial to changing that. And you call it trash in your brain, your trash brain, your head trash,
head trash, I call it. Yes.
So I love it. It's so simple. And it definitely busts up any idea. I mean, if you don't have 5 minutes a day to change your life, then you just don't want it.
You really don't want it that bad.
That's not a lot of time. I mean, you can literally probably do that, while you're doing your, your morning routine. And
that's right.
And it's you just get up 5 minutes earlier, do it right before bed. I mean, it's so easy. So let's talk a little bit about this head trash that you say is the number one reason why so many people feel stuck. And I know a lot of people can relate to this that are watching the show. They just feel stuck. They don't know how to exactly move forward. So tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. I mean, I've basically written 17 books with my 18th coming out next year about this one topic, which is how to take out your head trash. And so the point is that the way that I've been teaching it for a quarter century now, and one of the reasons that I help my clients make, literally add 6 figures, 7 figures, even 8 figures, is by taking out the head trash. And so what is head trash? Head trash, the way that I teach it, is it's the voice in your head that says, I can't do it because... ... And then you just fill in the blank. So for everybody watching, listening to the program, I want you to think about your goals, right? Because this is all about you, your dreams, your goals, your desires, right? What it is you want. I call that your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. What's your pot of gold? So you want more time, more energy, better relationships, more money. It might be a new house. It might be a new car. It might be whatever, or just to feel good, just to feel happy, or to get out of debt, or to lose some weight, whatever it is, whatever your pot of gold is. Okay. And by the way, it's not just things, not just material things. It's also feelings, emotions. Like I want to feel good enough. I want to feel happy. I want to feel fulfilled, whatever that might be. Right. So the point is that that's your pot of gold. But then what happens is people say to me all the time, they say, Noah, I want this, I want to grow my business. I want to write a book. I want to lose some weight. I want to find love, whatever it is. Right. But I can't do it because, and then ... And then whatever comes after the word because is what you believe and what you will defend to the death. And so, so for example, people say, oh, I want to make more money, but I can't do it because I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I can't afford it. I'm too busy. I have kids. I'm divorced. I didn't go to the right college. I didn't graduate high school. I don't have kids. I'm a Martian. I mean, whatever it might be. We have so many excuses, right? And what's so funny is, one of the things that I learned a long time ago is you can have excuses or you can have success, but you can't have both. You got to pick one. And what's so funny is most of us would rather hold on to our excuses, right? Because that's really easy. And when you're going after your desires, when you're going for your pot of gold, the number one thing that's going to happen is fear. That's what's going to come up, meaning your head trash, which is going to tell you, I can't do it because. And so the point is that it's far easier. I'll give you an example. I was talking with one of my clients and I asked him a simple question. I said, how much do you think your head trash is going to cost you this year? Because, he'd been reading my books, he'd been studying my courses and things like that. And, he understood this concept of head trash that I teach. So I asked him, I said, how much do you think your head trash is going to cost you this year? Without batting an eye, he said $1 million. Just this year, my head trash is going to cost me $1 million. I said, okay, I want you then, if your head trash is going to cost you $1 million, I want you to pay me just 10% of that. Just pay me 10% of that, and I'll get you that $1 million back. So he said, sounds good. And so he paid me $100,000 to coach him. And guess what? I have now made him twice that money back in less than 12 weeks of working together. In less than 12 weeks of coaching, he's now doubled his investment. And by the way, he said that was the biggest investment he'd ever, undertaken in any coaching. And he wasn't sure if it was going to work for him, but he's already doubled his money. So what does this mean for you? And what does this mean for everybody watching the program? I want you to, number one, write down how much do you think your head trash is going to cost you this year? I've never worked with any client that didn't tell me their head trash wasn't costing them anywhere between $10,000 and $25,000 every single month. All right. So literally that's 6 figures a year. I mean, easily, right? Many people say it's costing me $1 million. I mean, I've had that said to me a lot. And so the point is, then ask yourself a simple question. Do I want to take out my head trash sooner or later? How much longer am I willing to pay that money? Now you say, but Noah, I'm not really paying it. No, but you're losing it because you think you can't do it. So the number one reason that people don't reach their goals is not because they can't reach their goals. It's because they don't think they can reach their goals. And so the point is, that's the whole point of head trash. And so, like my $100,000 client, think about how much your head trash is costing you, and then ask yourself, how soon do I want to get rid of this?
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Just to ask yourself how much your head trash is costing you, because I agree with you. I think it costs people a fortune, and because of the fact that people are so comfortable, and it's so easy just to go to those statements that like, well, it's because of this, it's because of that, and they just want to kind of almost stay comfortable. But that comfort, how much is that comfort, costing you?
That's
And
right.
how much is it costing you to stay comfortable? And, some people just, maybe they prefer to stay comfortable. But if you don't prefer to stay comfortable and you want to get to that next level of success that you absolutely know deep inside of you that you deserve and that you're worth, then I highly recommend asking yourself that question and reaching out for support, because so you help a lot of people, I understand, make more in 12 weeks than they made in the last 12 months.
That's right.
And so how do you do that?
Well, I mean, it's really following my system. Okay. So I have systems for the two main areas of life, which is inner game and outer game. All right. So if you think of any human endeavor, there's always an inner component and an outer component. I just call it inner game and outer game. All right. So with inner game is everything that happens between your ears that you can't see directly, but it affects everything that you do. So for example, at my keynote speeches, whether I'm talking to a small group of, 100 people at a private workshop or thousands of people at an international conference, I'll often say to people, my attendees, I'll say, what is one area of your life where your beliefs don't affect you? And people go, and I go, exactly. There's no place your beliefs don't affect you, right? I mean, your beliefs affect your health, your wealth, your finances, your business, your relationships, right? Your social life, your intimate life. I mean, everything. There's no place your beliefs don't affect you. But there's also one point there, which is, or an important point to make, which is that it's not, you could be doing really well in one area of life, but maybe stuck or struggling in another. Maybe, for example, maybe your business is going really well, but maybe your health is suffering, or your relationships are suffering. Maybe your health is really good, but you're not where you want to be in business, et cetera. So it's not cookie cutter, one size fits all. I mean, our coaching is all very customized, very individualized for that reason. So that's your inner game. And then we have your outer game. Your outer game is everything you can see directly. So that's like the systems and strategies, the offers, the funnels, the traffic, all of this stuff that so many people that spend all this money on, marketing. And, if you're in business, you got to do that. But the problem is that nobody's really taught them about inner game. I'll give you another quick example. I was speaking at a conference in Los Angeles to a group of 1,000 business owners. I mean, these are high level, 6, 7, and 8 figure CEOs, entrepreneurs. And I was telling them about, head trash and affirmations and, just give my presentation. I was walking off the stage after I finished speaking, and a man came up to me out of the audience and he said, Noah, I want to hire you as my coach. You are the coach I've been looking for. And I didn't know this man from Adam. Ironically, his name was Adam. And so I said, okay, what's going on? He said, no, I'm totally stuck. I'm only making $4 million a year. Of course, I had to laugh. I'm like, well, A lot of people would like to be stuck at 4 million a year. That does not sound like a problem. He says, well, Noah, hold on. You don't understand. I'm a CEO of this company and we grew to 4 million in sales and revenues really fast, but we've been stuck. We've been plateaued for the past 4 years at the same level. And he says, I've spent all this money. I've gone to all the gurus, all the marketing guys, and I spent all this money and we're still stuck. And he said, as soon as I heard you speak about head trash and affirmations and everything you just said, he said, an inner game and outer game, he said, I knew you're the coach I've been looking for. So he literally hired me on the spot. I worked with him for a year and a half. In that year and a half, his company went from being stuck at the same level for 4 years to over $20 million in sales, literally a 6 times increase.
Wow.
In less than 2 years. Now, people might say, well, that's great, Noah, but I'm not making 4 million. I'm not even making $1 million. I'm not even making 6 figures. How does this help me? The point is that I've had people say to me, Noah, I'm only making 40,000 a year. I'm totally stuck. I've had people say, no, I'm totally stuck. I'm only making 400,000 a year. I've had people say, no, I'm totally stuck. I'm only making 4 million a year. It doesn't matter how much you're making right now or not making. The point is, how much is your head trash costing you right now? For most people, it's thousands, tens of thousands, and probably hundreds of thousands of dollars right now. So that's what we need to get rid of immediately.
Yes, absolutely. And, it doesn't matter what level you're at. If you're, in the double digits, the triple, all the way up. So
Right.
you can work with people at all different levels.
That's right.
And so I didn't, just to clarify, you don't necessarily need to spend $100,000 to hire Noah right on the spot.
We have
yeah.
levels, I mean, from $47 up to $100,000. So no, you don't have to be at 100K, but I mean, if you are, that's, then they're probably losing $1 million, right?
Right.
And so that's the point. That's the one-on-one. That's the highest level of working with me. But yeah, we have something called the 12-week breakthrough, where I help you make more in 12 weeks than when they made in the last 12 months. You can learn more about that at 12weekbreakthrough.com. You can watch a free presentation actually on how I help my clients make more in just 12 weeks than they made in the last 12 months. That's 12weekbreakthrough.com. It's a free presentation. But yeah, I mean, so that's the point, is we have all different levels, from done for you to done with you to do it yourself. And that's really how we help our clients, is at all levels. And frankly, it really depends on how fast you want to get there, how fast you want to get rid of your head trash, and how soon you want to stop losing that money.
Awesome. Well, this has been extremely insightful, and you're just the whole package. I mean, you provide it all. I love the 12weekbreakthrough.com. So write these down, 12weekbreakthrough.com. You can also find out more about all of the coaching programs and other services that you provide at noahstjohn.com. And then this free gift, which I think is a great place for anyone to get started, is this free gift, getmillionairebook.com. And you can get the Millionaire Affirmations, the magic formula that will make you rich, which who wouldn't want that?
Hello.
So I just really want to thank you so much for sharing your time and your wisdom and your story and your insight with us today. It's been really enlightening. And I know I'm going to get my hands on that material myself, and I'm sure my audience will as well. So any final parting words of wisdom or advice you want to share before we close out the show?
Absolutely. I just want people to know there is help available. So do reach out, get the support you need. You don't have to do it alone anymore. And we're here for you, and we'll take great care of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Noah. And thank you, guests, once again for tuning into the Power of Your Mind podcast. And I look forward to seeing you next time.